Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from beautiful downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia, Sycamore Crossing. We have a delivery truck in the background, but folks, the real delivery's right here on the All-Star panel.
We deliver.
How did I
Oh,
wrote
boy.
that? I wrote that really
Did
quick.
you?
You wrote that.
I thought delivery, and I said the real delivery. I was pretty good.
And your delivery wasn't bad either.
Wasn't bad. It all worked pretty good. Jane, we know you're traveling. We wish you well and hope everything's going okay. And Bruce is here. Rick is here. Oh, by the way, I think that I'm here is what the...
Yeah, that's something new.
Yeah, there's something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you gonna be here next week?
No.
Oh,
If you must know, no.
Who's gonna
sent
be
you
in
the
your chair
schedule.
next week?
I send you my schedule. Did you read my schedule?
I did.
Do you know I'm not going to be here?
Well, I was just bringing it up.
Oh, bringing it up.
That's
I
why I
was-
never get a shot
I was
at
letting
it,
everybody
Lonnie.
know.
I never
Tune
get
in
a
next
schedule.
week.
Well, Rick,
It was a promo for next week. Okay.
next week, live on the
Yeah,
All-Star Political Bounce.
exactly.
So, okay, so let's do this. I mean, we could go all over the place, but I
We
guess
sure
we'll try to
could.
stay focused. Bruce, where do you want to start? What's
Well, let's just get it out there right now. There's no
The elephant in the
whistleblower.
room.
He's a leaker. Okay? President Trump's not in the intel community. A whistleblower can only blow the whistle on someone in his genre. He's not. He's a leaker. Okay?
Thank you. Okay.
All
No.
right.
I mean, bada bing, bada boom. All right, we'll be right back.
We covered that.
Yeah. No, it's. I'm at a loss of how to explain what is going on because this is bizarro world to the 20th power. I mean, it just is. It's crazy.
Well, and it's such transparent stuff that they have no chance in hell of making any of this stick. And then I heard yesterday, Adam Schiff had this since August.
Right.
And he's just been sitting on
Oh,
it.
it's timed. Oh, they timed. No. Right. Go back in August. You're 100% right. But if you take a minute and go back in August, you will see, okay, this is the narrative they were playing then. This is the narrative.
There's things bubbling under the surface.
Yeah, they time everything out. I mean,
Then what's next?
well, to hear Nancy Pelosi say this is a matter of national security, that's just one of many. What? A matter of national security?
It's a constitutional crisis.
Her coming out with that speech or that press conference the other day was nothing but a charade. It was nothing more than an attempt to placate her caucus and placate the people out there who want Trump gone in the most unbelievable way.
If it was a dog and pony show, which one is she?
She's the dog.
Just when I
She
thought we
does
were
not
going
qualify
to,
as a pony.
see, Bruce opens up with the right there, and then he
Bada
goes
bing, bada bing.
dog and pony show. How you do that? How you move over to that? Okay, let me see.
You made a comment just a few minutes ago. You said, "I don't know where this is all coming from." Let me tell you where it's coming from. In my humble opinion, this is all a deep state attempt
Absolutely.
to bring down Trump.
Absolutely.
This guy was nothing more than a CIA operative who, incidentally, his name is Joseph Black, the CIA leaker.
Black work.
He was nothing more than a deep state spook in place by the CIA. And if you do a paper trail on this guy, you will see that he's been all over the board. He's very, very close to the political situation in Ukraine. He is a
Does that mean involved?
yeah. He's a
Okay.
brilliant writer. He can write that narrative like it was put out there by 10 different attorneys. He also was a chief advisor to Romney in his
geez.
presidential run in 2012. Same guy, Joseph Black, a CIA operative, was Romney's chief advisor in his presidential run. And where did he go after Romney failed? He went on the board of Burisma, which is what?
Wait a minute.
That's
Don't tell me.
Biden's?
Burisma. Oh, is that where Hunter got his
I
job?
think so. 50,000 a month.
You know what? He was on, his resume was on Monster or something .com or whatever. And Burisma said, "This is our guy."
Yeah, but I mean, really, come on, 50,000 a month.
Seriously.
He's a loser.
All right, so this
Chelsea
guy,
Clinton
keep
got
on your trail.
900,000 a year. He's
I
only
like,
got
I like where you
600.
go. So
you
he
follow that paper trail. Where did he go after Biden just came off? Who goes right on the board, slides in his place? The advisor to the presidential candidate, Romney. He goes on the board of Burisma. Check it out. It's there. And that whole deep state crap, you can even go back to the point where he was in a very, very high position in the CIA, and who followed him when he moved on? Clapper. And I keep coming back to this rogue group of intelligence operatives, mainly the CIA and Clapper. That
Don't
they
forget Brennan.
and Brennan.
Yeah.
They are nothing but scumbuckets whose sole intent is to take down the president.
Okay, but if this guy supposedly got this secondhand, he wasn't in the room, he didn't hear it, blah, 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 blah.
the leaker.
leaker.
We'll
Yeah.
stay with leaker.
Who was the White House official leaker?
Him.
Who got the information to him? No, he wasn't in the room. You know, this is secondhand to him. So there's somebody else closer to Trump that's feeding information out.
Okay, so
Or am I missing something?
no. You're not
no,
missing.
no,
You're not
no.
missing anything. It's a matter. They keep saying it's a matter of national security, and I read the, I read the phone call the other day, and not. Let's go into Burisma in just a minute, but let me just say this, okay? You notice the common theme of the will of the people. Now, I'm an American first person, America first, okay? I believe in that. But I also know there's a world out there and there's other people that live out there. You realize throughout the world, the will of the people is just, we don't care. We don't care what you think. Brexit, the will of the people. The people went and they voted and they want out, and they said, we want out. And the media turned it around and said, you don't really want out. You didn't really mean to vote that way. We don't care what your will is. We're not getting you out.
So you're saying the politicians and the media.
Right.
Okay.
The will of the people.
Around the world.
Okay, so that was Brexit. You go to the United States of America, where regardless if people want to admit it or not, Trump ran on drain the swamp, build a wall. He ran on several things that were standouts. The will of the people said, hey, I want you to be president of the United States. It's irrelevant. The will of the people is irrelevant. Now let's move to Ukraine, okay?
Okay.
Supposedly, if you read the transcript on the call, okay, this guy ran in his country, his election, on draining the swamp in Ukraine, okay, ending corruption, right? He won overwhelmingly by the Ukrainian people, right?
Yep.
He won so strong, his party, that the parliament there, or whatever their form of government is he a president or he's president, right?
President.
Well, they have a parliamentarian system, do they not? But
Yes.
anyhow, his party overwhelmingly won control of parliament based on these things, right?
Okay.
The will of the people, the Ukrainian people. They want the corruption stopped, right? They want the Russians the Russian rebels pushed out,
It was another
Right.
populist candidate
right?
Yep.
that won based on what you're
So
saying.
if you get to all three, the deep state, the globalist deep state
Exactly.
is their theme is how dare you? I mean, that should be over the sign. How dare you think you're going to do this, no matter what you
you're absolutely correct. The deep state follow the money, the Rothschilds. That sounds like you're going down a rabbit hole, but by gosh, they are the ones that are controlling this new world order.
and
Open
no
borders.
matter where you're at in the world,
Right.
if your people say I don't want corruption, if your people say I want the swamp drained, and we want to turn our country around, they get a letter that says how dare you. Now in Trump's phone conversation, what I read into it is, hey, you know what? You won an amazing election. Yes, Mr. President, it was amazing, and the way I won is I studied your election, right? So I studied your election, drained the swamp, all that, and that's what the people wanted. And then Trump basically says, to paraphrase, look, You know this whole Mueller thing? We've been through a lot over here. What I'm really trying to say is our Democrats have no interest whatsoever in crime, corruption, or correcting anything of that nature. So what do you think you could do about it? You got a little power over it. I mean, am I wrong?
No, that's
Well, no,
it.
because it's a public fact that
We're
this
not
prosecutor
going
got
to.
pushed out by Biden.
Exactly.
So to me, it's logical to say, hey, what's the follow-up on this?
Biden said it's funny. You know, we are treating this as a I call it the hashtag corporate corrupt deep state corporate corrupt media. They're running this like a 5-alarm fire. They have this transcript. We have a video where Biden said, quote, listen, the guy's getting fired. If you don't fire him, I have $1 billion worth of loan vouchers here. You know, I got $1 billion worth of loan credits that I'm getting ready to send your way. I will stop them. And then Biden brags and says, well, they said, well, you're not the president. Oh, I'm going to leave it. Let's
want me to get Barack on the phone?
let's get Barack on the phone. You fire the guy. And it's unreal that is out there, that he held up $1 billion worth of loan credits that were ready to go for Ukraine, based on firing an investigator that was looking into Burisma. Now, have you read Peter Schweitzer's book?
No.
Okay. If you get into his book, and it's the same author that wrote Clinton Cash, all right? And we learned a lot out of Clinton Cash. If you get into there, Burisma actually has some Ukrainian oligarchs. They love those oligarchs.
Oligarch. Boy, that's a sensitive word.
Right? But they have now, if it was a Russian oligarch, the media would love it because that would play. But they have these Ukrainian oligarchs. I don't know if it's like 2 or 3, but there's a couple that are some big-time criminals. I mean, they are big-time when you read this book. And they're the ones in charge of Burisma.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just telling you. And
who is on the board?
Hunter Biden.
And who? The CIA operative.
Joe Black.
That's it. I mean, I got it right
Now,
here.
come on.
Is he still on, or
Come on,
has
guys.
he stepped away?
Gone.
I mean, because how could he?
He slinked back in and you returned to the CIA.
Hey, guys, wait a minute.
And they didn't like throw him out for that?
Guys, we've all made a phone call trying to help our sons get a job.
Yeah.
That just we didn't
Your
have
dad
to
even made a phone
we didn't
call.
have we
Yeah,
didn't have
no.
to
Some
be
guy to
like-
get
No.
you on the baseball team.
yeah, we didn't happen to be vice president of the United States.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, so
Mr. Pritchard, if you're watching, I know you're not feeling well, but if you're watching, did you really pay to get him on the baseball team?
oh come on, that's just wrong. Didn't happen, folks. I have the stats. Stats prove everything. Anyhow, so I mean, let's talk about that over in Ukraine. Is Biden done? Is he finished?
Yeah.
Toast.
Toad's finished.
However,
but-
now wait. Hold on.
All right.
Hold on to that thought. Let's all drip blood over the candle and say that the Democrats do not have a candidate.
Period. Absolutely.
The only shot they've got, and I think the reason that they're going through a lot of these charades, is the DNC is trying to protect Biden at all costs.
Right.
They've got people out there that are huge donors
Yes.
that are coming in and saying, if you let Warren be the nominee, we're out of here. We're pulling our dough and we're voting for
absolutely.
Trump.
Absolutely.
So what are they going to do? They got to protect the only guy that they think, the mainstream guy, even though he's got all these deep state ties, can beat Trump. That's my opinion.
All right. But you said he's toast. Why do you think he's toast?
Well, you know, he's on tape talking about this. Push the prosecutor out.
Bragging.
I mean, so right there you go. Okay, he's on tape talking about it. Him. I mean, they can't change that. So I think as more of this stuff comes out, how is he going to back away from that?
I think it's very simple.
And I understand that he's considered to be the guy in the polls that can beat Trump head to head.
Yeah.
Because he appeals to working class, blue collar workers that left
he,
and voted
and he
for
can
Trump.
attract the black vote.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I don't believe that.
I don't
believe
believe
that.
I have said it. There's no way that
they're deluding themselves if
Yeah,
they
there's
think
no
that.
way that the black
model-
vote in America is waiting to vote for this 76-year-old crusty white guy. They just,
Yeah,
Joe, it's cool. Oh, all right.
No, I agree with you, but
It's
I'm
not
just
happening.
saying what
But
they think.
I remember
And
when did you say Adam Schiff had this leakers?
August.
August, right? Okay. So I really think there's things that they hold on to much like this. It's saying let's see.
How about the Kavanaugh memo with Feinstein?
Right. Let's see. Let's time this out. And when we really come to a conclusion that there's no way we can beat him with a candidate, then we're going to have to go into vote against him.
Schmear.
The only thing they have is vote against Trump, not vote for. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Regardless, I mean, a lot of Americans don't pay attention, but you know, when if they impeach him, okay, I will tell you this: if the Senate vote was behind closed doors,
Yeah,
he would be removed.
exactly.
If the Senate vote was behind closed doors and you did not have to record your vote and it was not publicly known, there's enough Republicans that would remove him in the
A
Senate.
lot of rhinos.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so
Okay.
it isn't so. That's a moot
All right,
point.
so- Did he just give me the moving right along? Did he?
Yeah,
did he just
yeah.
Go,
Precious
here-
airtime
yeah.
here.
No, but no. Well, let me say this.
guest host
so
over there.
it's nothing. There's. I think it's this simple. If they impeach him in the House, I think the House will. All right, they have enough Democrats, and we're up to 220.
I don't
we're
think
up to
they are.
227.
I think it's going to get too wobbly.
I don't
and-
think so either. I don't
Okay.
think they
Okay.
will.
All right.
That's fine.
So,
Hey,
2 to 1.
but
it's
if
a-
you're
it's a
running
coin flip.
campaign, if you're running a campaign commercial, and you don't do what we do, and you know you're rushing out the door, and you're getting little Billy and Joey and Johnny to the school, and you're running down to work, and you get home, and you turn it on for 10 minutes, and the commercial pops up. Would you really vote for a president that's been impeached? What will be his impeachable offense in his second term?
Well, look at
Right? You
look
see what I'm
at
saying?
Clinton.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying,
Look
though?
at Clinton, though.
Yeah, it's a
was
tag.
so
You can't even
popular.
say, look at Clinton. You can't. I said this from day one. This is their Nixon parallel. Anybody that thinks when Clinton was impeached, he became popular, and this is going to have a backward effect, Clinton effect, I disagree. Clinton became popular for different reasons. Period.
Slick Willie.
Right, okay? I'm telling you, you turn on a campaign, you're home, it's 3 weeks before election. What will this president be? What impeachable offense will he do in his second? Will he do several knowing that he has no... I'm just telling you, the campaign... They want to run campaign commercials against it. Now, will they impeach him? You say it's going to get wobbly, but they do. They don't have a candidate to vote for. Americans do not want to vote for a woman. It's not going down the line. It's just like the Hyde Amendment. If you want to have an abortion, I'm not paying for it. I can tell you right now, the American people are not going to pay for gender reassignment surgery.
They already are.
But when she makes it, it's part of her campaign. You're right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren can't get elected in this country yet. Okay, I could be wrong, but we need another generation to come through the indoctrination of the schools, and I'm talking grade schools, before
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren gets elected, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's vote against Trump is what I think. What say you?
I understand what you're saying about the impeachment tag. Yeah, I mean, any candidate wouldn't want that, tag on them. But I don't think the case for impeachment with this, it's fallen apart, I think, under their feet. That's why I asked you earlier, what's next? Because they had Christine Blasey Ford for Kavanaugh. They got Joe Black for Ukraine, and they're going to have some other deadbeat come out of the woods with some wild ass thing that they all jump on like gleeful school children.
I got it. I mean, the sad thing is how many people didn't understand that McGuire is part of a director of national intelligence, is part of the executive office, work for the president. So how many in America did not understand yesterday that he had to take that to, he didn't take it to Donald Trump. Now, Schiff wanted to make it sound like, why did you run it in and
Why
lay
did you
it,
go
lay
right to
it-
the White House?
Lay it on Trump's desk is what they want. No, you know, up sitting up there, you know very well that there's White House counsel and there's an office of White House counsel. And when I see anything that's a matter of classified information that may have executive privilege, because I didn't just start this yesterday,
Yeah.
right? I got, what, 40 some years or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So when I see that and I know how to identify that, I take it to the council, the White House counsel, and let them move it from there, right?
Yeah, and you must think, what's in his mind when he hears Adam Schiff go through this stupid parody about,
Oh, my God.
oh, he said this, you need to get lots of dirt and all this sort of thing. You were supposed to be professionals. We're supposed to be,
Right.
people working for the American public. And you got this guy up there, oh, it was a parody. Didn't everybody understand that?
Did you see Radcliffe?
What did he
Radcliffe
say?
was
What
in
did
the
he say in
picture?
his opening? He said, what did he say in his opening? First time in 70 years that a member of my family hasn't worn the American cloth or something like that, had a uniform on.
Right.
First time in 70 years that someone in his family, immediate family, wasn't wearing the uniform. And the guy said, then it's like, well, I went to the Department of Justice. Well, William Barr, this, that, and the other thing. Why would you go to the Department of Justice? Because that's what you do. You take it to the Department of Justice.
Yeah, but you took it to the two people that are implicated in this, Barr and Trump.
Yeah, well, who in the history of this country, now I will say I don't know it that well, has ever had a personal attorney general like Eric Holder and Barack Obama? I mean, Eric Holder was basically his personal,
It was his butt boy.
right? Nobody, right?
Okay.
What?
Okay, we're going to take a brief break on Butt Boy. Butt Boy was our code word to go to break. But no, we're going to take a brief break. We're going to come right back. Let's talk about McGuire, what we found out or did not find out yesterday. And
And you know what we got to talk about as well?
what are we all talking
Let's
about?
talk about CrowdStrike.
Huh. I'd like to talk about how Mattel is making those gender-neutral dolls for your little
man,
boys
I
and
knew you were
girls.
going there.
Take a break.